This is Sybert signing into Kane's Wrath and into a game that Twitch chat and I judge to be pretty good, actually. So, welcome to Tiberium Resistance for a 3v3 on the north side of the map, spawning amongst the Tiberium spikes. This is JuDgEpowr. No, this is JuDgEpowr. Wrong name. And as the orange black hand, this is whitehouseparty. He's partying with the president. He is hopefully going to get crazy here in this game. But rounding out team number one of this 3v3, this is Outlawn, the purple GDI player. And I love to imagine that he is an outlaw lawn. So he's just like, you know, a bunch of grass that's a rebel. Meanwhile, as the yellow Scrin fleeing from his Tiberium spikes in the corner, this is MRJUNKIE. He's heading for that big, beautiful green field. His teammates, as the cyan marked of Kane, it's another one. And as the red marked of Kane, this is TechMage. Double GDI and a black hand in the north versus double marked of Kane and a Scrin in the south. So we have one team that is, well, actually both teams are very strong faction choices overall. Blackhand and Scrin are nothing to slouch at, but we have the mass EMP team in the south, and they are starting it off with pretty significant EMPs. Some very minor slowdowns to JuDgEpowr happening here, even as MCV getting tagged by one of these EMPs. Forced to draft a watchtower. He's going to try and chase down these Awakened squads. But of course, Awakened squads are so tanky. They are so good at killing other early infantry that it just doesn't work out for JuDgEpowr. So a bit of annoyance there. We'll see if the EMPs actually play a significant role in this game. Many times in the past, we see the team with lots of Marked of Kane players, or with a Marked of Kane player with lots of Awakened squads, just not really land that many EMPs, either miss them, or just not utilize them at all. Bikes coming in here. Harvester's juking around, going for the War Factory repairs, and it's not enough, as another one gets a kill, and JuDgEpowr loses a Harvester. Rifleman comes in for the scout from Outlawn. He has got a nice number of riflemen right at the beginning of the game that he's using for maximum scouting. Only goes with one refinery on the field, and then his second refinery is way over here in the middle of his base because he moved his MCV, I guess, way too early. But that's kind of a funny spot for a second refinery there to the south. Meanwhile, much more traditional refinery locations from a lot of these other players on Tiberium Resistance. By the way, this is an R18 game, so no R16 silliness here. This is R18F, relatively recent version of the game. I mean, back in the beginning of 2022, we were all still playing R18, so pretty recent overall. Blue Tiberium getting snagged up. Of course, there is 3 repositories of Blue Tiberium on this map, and we do see Visceroids running around the map as well. whitehouseparty comes in for the scout. He's going to see the nerve center and the stasis shield here from MRJUNKIE in the south. EMP control centers captured nice and early for both teams, so those should be clicking down pretty soon here and ready to go relatively soon. We'll see where the first one fires off and how much value these teams are able to get for it. That Awakened squad, Awakened member finally does go down. No EMP for that guy. I guess that is a good point. Lots of Tiberium weapons from the team in the south between Scrin and Marked of Kane. It's Tiberium troopers. It is no flame weaponry at all from our team in the south. Meanwhile, we do have the Flame Kings, Black Hand, as one of our teams in the north. We'll see if he's able to get out Purifying Flame, if he's able to, well, he does have a Secret Shrine, so he might just be going for Black Disciples, but maybe we'll see Purifying Flame as well. Seekers in the middle of the map. MrJUNKIE coming in here with a couple of Seekers to hunt down these Pit Bulls and Harvesters. Snags the Harvester with the EMP, so in theory a good catch, but there's nothing attacking the Harvester. So that was an EMP that it just takes the Harvester 5 extra seconds to get back home. That really did not do anything. I guess, you know, hopefully the EMP is timed out by the next time you need it. You know, if a big group of Scorpion tanks shows up in your base, I hope you don't need that EMP, but we shall see. Marv Reclamator Hub is out for JuDgEpowr. He has gone straight for Tier 3. He's got a couple of Firehawks as well. We'll see if he just uses them to Stratofighter over and knock down the Tier 3, although he's not going to have much more time if he wants to stop this Eradicator Hexapod from emerging, because it is mere moments away for MrJUNKIE. Lightning storm is upon us. There are going to be random eruptions of damage coming from the sky. It's pretty minor overall. It's a very minor just amount of damage done to any units or buildings. But, you know, it is one of those things that happens in this particular game. Look at that. It takes, 10% of the health off of a Scorpion tank with a Dozer Blade. Harvesters getting hunted in the middle of the map. Team North is hoping to control that blue and keep it under their watchful eye. Tech Mage has built a pretty significant infantry army in terms of EMP. We'll see if he's actually able to get anything done with it, because other than a bunch of EMPs, he really doesn't have much else going on. Orca Strike coming in, but the power plant has already been sold off. Redeemer is almost ready for Tech Mage. And the first Eradicator Hexapod has stepped out onto the map. The phase does land. Gonna go for the crush on White House Party's Black Hand squads. Another one has a couple of Scorpion tanks here, and they have not been phased, so they are vulnerable to those rocket squads. Meanwhile, Purifying Flame was purchased, but it's just not enough to take down a phased Eradicator Hexapod. All the upgrades in the world can't really help you there. Firehawks coming in. JuDgEpowr looking for his targets. It looks like he sniped the Tier 3. No, he sniped something else from Tech Mage. I'm not actually sure what he used all of these Firehawks for. Now he's trying to outlast the SAM site so that he can Stratofighter out of there and go someplace else. Stealth tanks are here for Tech Mage, going around the edges of the map. And, well, I assume he has Tib Core. Yeah, he does have Tib Core. So he does have those upgrades. He's going to be able to snipe one Firehawk. A little bit of overkill, but not too bad, as he gets a second Firehawk with that same volley. Third Firehawk goes down. JuDgEpowr losing a big chunk of his Firehawks. And it looks like one Harvester getting eliminated. The Eradicator Hexapod is back onto the front line. It does have the ability to teleport away, and I assume another Mastermind was built in the meantime. But there is no phase, so at the very least, it won't totally be able to escape. There's the blink forward. Going to be going for the beam cannons. Going to be going for the Harvester even potentially here, as this Eradicator Hexapod's health is just getting sapped away. But it does get teleported back to safety. MrJUNKIE, he is playing Scrin the way some people love to play Scrin. Stasis Shield locks down that Marv. There is still a ton of Juggernauts here outside of that ridge in the middle of the map. And these Juggernauts have not been stopped, at least not just yet. They're ready to start putting the pain onto this Eradicator Hexapod, which has been healed nearly back up to full health. Mastermind comes forward. Area Mind Control might be not utilized here because it's not a Prodigy, but does mind control one of the Juggernauts and doesn't manage to escape. The Mastermind goes down. MrJUNKIE presses forward, and he's going to blink away, teleports backwards, and leaves his Corruptors on the front line. Rage Gen fires off a little bit of friendly fire there, but not too much to be worried about. Beam cannons get caught by that, and the Venoms are here to finish off the beam cannons after the Tib Bane detonation does some damage. Juggernaut's going down, but the beam cannons will pay a heavy price for it Outlaw and White House Party are here with double epic units, hoping to break down this Skrin front door. Buzzer hives go down, power plant to buy time. Mr. Junkie senses that there is a big problem lurking at his front door, and we'll see if he has anything to do with stopping it. JuDgEpowr coming in, lots of mammoth tanks from this GDI player in the north. He's given up perhaps on Firehawks being his ticket to success. Devastator warships are here. 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are here from Mr. Junkie. He's making good use of that cash. Redeemer is almost out. EMP is going to fire off. It catches nothing at all. I don't know, that was another predictive EMP, I guess, but it completely misses. Either a bit of a misclick or a bad case of judgment here as these avatars are getting knocked down one by one. This is way too much GDI firepower. JuDgEpowr has got just way too much GDI armor for this little Marked of Kane player to deal with. One EMP lands, but he's going to need more than that. The Marv is pretty low on health, so if he could deal with these 5, 6 mammoth tanks that are at the front line, he could maybe take on that Marv, but it just isn't meant to be. Meanwhile, the blink forward from the Eradicator Hexbot, it's down to about half health, and it will whisk away once again all the way to the back of Mr. Junkie's base. The Marv is now on the full retreat path. Juggernauts and beam cannons here in good numbers. But JuDgEpowr is pressing on to the south. This 3v3 might turn into a 3v2 as JuDgEpowr will not be stopped, bringing down the hammer on Tech Mage, and he declares him guilty, and the death penalty will be his punishment. A Marv and a Redeemer on your front doorstep as your neighbor, your ally, gets battered down. Tech Mage is basically out of the game. He still technically has an MCV, but I think all of the stealth tanks in the world, which, what have these stealth tanks actually been doing for the last couple of minutes? They haven't gone heroic. They haven't even gone single vet, so I think they haven't killed very much. Killing Firehawks is cool. Don't get me wrong. Killing Firehawks is fun. But I don't know if that's enough. The phase and the teleport on this Eradicator Hexbot. He gets one Juggernaut, maybe he got a second one as well, but not much more than that. JuDgEpowr now going to be backing up. It looks like his Mammoth Tank army has actually been cut down. JuDgEpowr has been thinned out, and his army is basically gone. He does still have... Tech Mage finds a crane to deploy. Shockwave Artillery, that's the team in the north friendly firing. Unless someone grabbed something with an engineer that I did miss. Mantis has come to the front line. It is Devastator warships being devastated, but the tripods are making short work of everything else. The Marv doesn't get caught, but it's going to be the orbital bombardment on top of the tripod army. Can Mr. Junkie win it all for the team in the south, pressing further forward, ever forward, and this Marv is dangerously low on health. Descents coming in here as well as the Redeemer of White House Party gets eliminated. The EMP lands on the Eradicator, and that is it for the Eradicator. The beam cannons are still here. They stand after everything else has fallen. The last tripod retreats away from the front line, and Mr. Junkie has been defeated. It is still 3 players in the south. Tech Mage is still there, and it looks like another one is going to get the kill on the Marv. JuDgEpowr is going to lose his epic unit in the back of another one's base. We'll see if another one can steamroll that into another win, because Outlaw and White House Party are keeping up the pressure. They have reformed their front line, and they are making moves. Stealth Tank's finally doing more damage. Tech Mage has managed to get a couple of Harvester kills in the undefended back line of White House Party. Buying time on the front line. If the team in the south can rebuild, maybe they can pull something out from, well, it's not nothing, but it's close to nothing. There actually is a a decent amount of Tiberium on the southern half of the map. If they could get some harvesters over to safely harvest this field, that would be a decent amount of cash that is waiting for somebody to grab it. Shadow Team's coming in from Tech Mage. He's got a bunch of power plants. He's got a disruption tower. He's got a crane as well. He's got a secret shrine. I'm not sure if he has any income other than that. He's got a Tib Spike at least. So he does have that much going on for him. Firehawks come in. Venom's able to cut down the Firehawks, and the Mammoth's backing off another one, holding the line, pushing JuDgEpowr back and keeping him from invading. Shadow Team's going for the Tib Spikes? Can Shadow Teams bomb down a Tib Spike? Okay, yeah, they can get the power plant, but I don't think the power plant is really what you want to go for. FaZe comes on to the Eradicator Hexapod once again. The stasis locks down all of the beam cannons. MrJUNKIE, he's played this tune before, and he's hoping they don't get tired of hearing it. It might be time for the team in the north to try and go for another backstab. The Spectre artilleries are actually targeting down the beacon drop from the Shadow Teams, allows the Spectres to snipe the EMP control center. Another one I think he's the only one with Spectres. I don't think Tech Mage has any Spectres on in the map. And the team in the south is starting to push back the team in the north. This is also just a ton of blue Tiberium. I can't believe there isn't just a mass transfer of harvesters over there to the left side to go for a huge amount of cash. Over there to the right side, not the left side. Somebody has spotted this commando in that Ox transport. It has been spotted. Oh. It will be dealt with. Very unfortunate that the commando gets struck down like that. Oh, there's actually a ton of cash over here as well. The blue Tiberium has been almost completely ignored this game. Redeemer gets rebuilt by whitehouseparty. Shadow Team, I think, just went down there. Tib Spikes are still here for JuDgEpowr, so he still has that income. He sends forward a Marv. This is a strange move indeed. You don't need to sacrifice a Marv. I don't know what he was hoping to accomplish with that. That did very close to literally nothing. It may have technically done something, but it did close to literally nothing. Using that Marv to Marvest blue Tiberium or suck up this green Tiberium, anything would have been better than that. An unfortunate play there by JuDgEpowr. Another beacon gets called in. More beacon artillery coming in here from Tech Mage. He has got the beacons and basically nothing else. Mammoth Tank getting sniped by Mass Venom, but JuDgEpowr shows up with the Firehawks to clear out the Venom cloud. whitehouseparty builds a nuke. He says it is going to end one way or the other, and well, I don't think it's a real nuke based on the presence of this Temple of Nod on the literal front line of this attack. I don't think that's a real nuke. Okay, there's the phase. EMP fires off, catches the beam cannons, and this Eradicator is going for the crush. You love it from Whitehouse. He's literally body blocking for his beam cannons. What an absolute great team player. What a great leader as the Overlord's Wrath crashes in and misses basically everything. This Eradicator Hexapod is suddenly kind of trapped behind enemy lines. I think the phase will last long enough that he can escape, but if he unphases at the wrong time, that is going to be a dead Eradicator Hexapod. All right, I think he is safe. The phase has lasted. Oh, the phase actually maybe didn't last long enough. That was a very dangerous amount of damage. Another beacon gets called in. Tech Mage with the unbeatable beacons. He just keeps sending more and more beacons to the north side of the map. Spectre's now engaged in defending as another one is holding up another army from JuDgEpowr. JuDgEpowr is trying this attack once again. The Eradicator Hexapod has no escape this time. Finally, Outlaw and whitehouseparty, the 2v1. MrJUNKIE is crumbling. but can they keep up the attack? Because on the left side, JuDgEpowr is getting pushed back. Every mammoth tank goes down. Another one holds the line another time. Mind control on the mammoth tank. Killing your own units is never fine. The mastermind cuts away from the front line. Supersonic airstrike comes in, does nothing to this pack as this beam cannon army retreats once again. Supersonic airstrike comes in a second time, doesn't do much to change the front line of this battle. Another one comes in for the support, and Bikes now sneaking by. TechMage has found his calling, which is to build mass Tib core bikes in the late game to try and crank out a win for his team. Another one with the mass Spectres has been doing so much damage. Even a couple of Spectres for TechMage as well. They're both getting in on the Spectre action. And once again, Outlaw and whitehouseparty have been pushed back. whitehouseparty loses a second Redeemer. Everybody else is managing to hold on to their epic units for a little bit longer, but whitehouseparty unfortunately whiffs on that EMP as well. The shockwave artillery will land though. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? He stops to check his foot. He pauses at the right moment to avoid that shockwave artillery. The RNG is insane sometimes, and that Redeemer, the double vet Redeemer dodging, ducking and weaving away from the exploding shells of the shockwave artillery. Mr. Junkie has rebuilt his Eradicator Hexapod, and now the EMP is on the other foot as Outlaw takes massive damage on his Marv. Must have been a rage gen as well as he cleans up 2 or 3 of his own Juggernauts, and the Marv will go down. Huge damage on the Marv to finish it off, and these bikes are they're just attacking nothing. They're fighting it out with a Viceroy, and they're kind of losing that fight despite being the only ones who are attacking. Double or single vet on those stealth tanks. There are still 2 stealth tanks, but 2 epic units get erased. I think JuDgEpowr also lost an epic unit as well, so that might be 3 epic units getting erased. And suddenly the team in the north, who looked like they had everything going for them for so long, have fallen apart. The Harvesters were never rebuilt. That Tiberium was never reclaimed, and there's still so much blue on the map for these folks to capture. JuDgEpowr comes in. He's going big into the Pitbulls late game, but I don't think it's quite big enough. Supercharged particle beams come in, and more shadow teams as well get called into the map. JuDgEpowr trying to make anything work for him late in the game. Outlaw and whitehouseparty have reformed their front line, but this time it's tier 1 units versus everything that the team in the south has. Redeemer, double vet, still making its way back towards the front line. And the Marv is back online. JuDgEpowr or Outlaw, one of them. I think it looks like they both have Marvs now. They're back up to 2 epic units in the north. I think whitehouseparty hasn't rebuilt his Redeemer yet. Or maybe he did. He snuck it out somewhere, perhaps. Oh, that is an unselectable Vox transport, so I don't think that one is got a commando inside of it. Eradicator Hexapod is stepping forward. I don't know what that Stratofighter was. Maybe he sniped the tier 3. Maybe something else happened. EMP. The wrong one fires off. No! A massive ring of EMPs. And the first round completely misses the Eradicator Hexapod. Outlaw has a stolen tripod here to lock down that Eradicator. And the GG gets called on the Eradicator. But that is a fully heroic double beam avatar from another one, as this guy is melting the forces of the team in the north. EMP Grenadiers are nice, but are they nice enough to take down an Avatar? He just looks at the bikes and they fall apart. He looks at the beam cannons and they explode. EMP lands on the beam cannons, on the Marv, and a fully heroic double beam Avatar can almost, what is that? Oh, he's catching the Redeemer, but that Avatar is going to heal up and retreat from the front lines. The team in the south is trying to make something happen. Stealth tanks and shadow teams converging from Tech Mage. He's been almost dead for so long, but he's just holding on to life. Mr. Junkie building an additional MCV. JuDgEpowr is back in it. This 3v3 seems like it will never end. Back and forth, back and forth. The Marv goes down. Another Marv from Outlawn annihilated by the team in the south. Spectres hunting down these last zone troopers. Feels like overkill, but okay. Seems like it might be more than is necessary. Mammoth tanks and Marvs trying to go toe-to-toe, but these Mammoth tanks are in a mess. They're just caught in the buildings away from the Marv, getting overwhelmed, top deck and wrecked by this Nod laser force. Infantry get called in, and not often do you see rockets jumping into a Marv this late in the game, and there's still somehow 6 players in this match. Shadow teams getting hunted down by a buggy, and this Marv is not long for this world. When you've got this many lasers, it just can't really be stopped. Hammerhead transition has been spotted. Another Eradicator Hexapod. Mr. Junkie and Outlawn, I feel like they are both just giving away these epic units for the last couple of minutes. Huge amount of Tiberi growth in this. Actually, all of the starting fields, well, half of the starting fields have regrown massively. Harvesters are being forgotten, now being beaconed by teammates, trying to remind your friends and your allies that you need some of that money in your bank. It's not just to look at. Ion Cannon already has the laser fence around it. Things certainly slowing down as the money dries up and as people lose their active harvesting forces. They don't have as big of harvester numbers. Lightning strikes coming in once again. Rage Gen might fire off. That's a lot of hammerheads. I hope you have a way to save this Redeemer. A couple of bikes coming in, but wasting their shots on that Ox transport. A bit unfortunate. Stealth field gets called in on that Redeemer, and this might be the end of this force if there is not adequate air support. JuDgEpowr, he has put a target on his back with that Ion Cannon. There's the stealth reveal as the Enlightened get deleted. EMP catches the hammerheads, and that's one way to deal with it. A couple of your own avatars get caught by the explosive lightning blast from the sky, but the EMP lights up those hammerheads and takes them down. JuDgEpowr falling apart. His last Marv has been built, and this is a fully heroic Redeemer, a fully heroic Avatar, and a second Avatar ready to go double, or ready to go heroic, as it is already double vet. 2 Ion Cannons are now out on the field, but now only 1 remains. These Avatars keep moving their way north, but the team in the north is just, let it happen. JuDgEpowr is dead, and his allies are like, what are we going to do to stop it? We're not going to do anything to stop it. Stealth tanks coming in as well. Tech Mage, he has done so much and also nothing at all. At various times, he seems to alternate between, doing a bunch of random stuff and then sitting quiet for 5 minutes and just nothing happening. He's had those stealth tanks for so long and they still haven't gone heroic. They just haven't been very active, but they are also survivors. So on one hand, it is good that they are still alive, and we are now finally in a 3v2. 3 players in the south versus 2 players in the north, and 2 random seeker tanks with that shard upgrade going after the force of the team in the north. White House Party has been defeated. The GG gets called, and Team South has all 3 of their members survive into the late game. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Not the perfect game, but a good entertainment factor. And this is Sybert signing out.